Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's energy update with me, Rebecca Meisel. So excited to be back. I took last week off. I just needed some me time, some time to recoup and fill my cup. And then, of course, we're starting after our long weekend. So I also took advantage of yesterday to just recoup my energy. So I'm excited to get back at it today. So let's go into what's come through this week. We have a really beautiful week. We're really in this new month of September, which is all about endings and closure and wrapping up cycles. If you're into numerology at all, we're in the month of the number 9. So that number itself is very vindictive of that closure energy. So this week, we're going to see that really come through very uniquely for each of us. What have we been working on the past few years to close out, to release, to let go? What has been coming through for us lately? A lot of these loose ends that are needing to be wrapped up and tied up are going to really be surfacing this week. So it's very important that a lot of us take the time out to meditate, listen to our intuition, and get that clarification on what exactly these cycles are for us and how we can move through them with more of this awareness and grace. So I just keep hearing that's important this next week is how can we handle challenge or triggers or different things that might come up with this attitude of surrender, grace, and taking the lesson that we need to learn. That's such an important thing to think about often is when there's something that's really bothering us or really coming to the surface that we just can't seem to figure out. That is the time, my friends, that we take that step back to really evaluate what we are needing to learn at that time and what could be that big vital lesson. The other thing that comes in very strongly this week is karma. So, what karma needs to be closed out? What past life scenarios might be playing out in our current lifetime? And how can we get that clarification that we need? So, for some of us, that's going to require we sit back and meditate. That's going to require that we ask the assistance of our guides to show us what it is we're needing to heal at this time so we can truly do it. And this keeps me very stressed. We need to close out these cycles. So, how can you be aware? What do you need to do so you can get the clarity you need to so you can move forward? I really keep getting this very strong push that in October, we're going to be in a very different energy. So this month is all about that. What's needing to go? What's needing to be released before we really start this new cycle starting in October here. So really be aware of what those energies are and how they're playing in your life at the moment. So now that we've talked about that, let's move into what has channeled for us this week. So, what came through was hunger for more, ravenous hunger to fulfill yourself, explore more opportunities to grow, seeing the fuller picture that this life now is the one that matters most. Laser focus on your dreams, removing distractions so you can achieve your goal. You're almost there. You are so close. Believe it, see it, feel it. What have you got to lose? Seeing you'd rather go out trying than not trying at all. Don't let money fears hold you back. It's all an illusion. Believe and you will go far. It's time to set those goals into action. You can live a fulfilling life. Okay, let's pause there. So, this was really beautiful because as we're wrapping up these cycles, we're starting to see this new energy come in. We're starting to see this real clarity that drops in this week of the direction we want to go, where we want to be. And of course, with these cycles rearing their heads, we might feel like we're taking a step back. We might feel like, oh, we're being sabotaged, or oh my gosh, now this is inhibiting me in my forward movement. But in fact, it's the absolute opposite. these things are coming forward so we can clear them to really catapult into this new energy. So, really keep that in the forefront of your mind this week. Once more, if challenge comes, this is to catapult you forward so you can let this go. So, with that, we have this beautiful awareness of the bigger picture coming in. We're going to get this clarity. We're going to have this awareness. This is the area that I want to expand in. This is the path I want to take. This is what feels good, what feels natural and authentic for me. And we're going to be really wanting to pursue it. So, this ravenous hunger, there's a reason for that. So, when they said that, it was like this really strong desire, this need to fulfill yourself, to really feed your soul. So this week, also tune into that. Like, what is actually feeding your soul? What are those things that bring you fulfillment and pleasure and joy and make you feel like your soul is expanding, not regressing? So be mindful this week. What are those things? And how can I make sure they are a priority for me? So, laser focus on your dreams, remove distractions. So, for a lot of us, they're showing us being these busybodies and having multiple things going. Maybe we're an entrepreneur. Maybe we just have that kind of life where things are a little chaotic, a little bit all over the place. Maybe we're juggling many hats and responsibilities. But I'm really seeing like we need to get this focus on. We need to be able to have our head in the game because we are creating a brand new start. We are creating this brand new life for ourselves. And where our attention goes, energy flows. So they really want to bring this to our awareness this week when we drop into our thoughts and into our bodies and into our present moment. What am I currently creating? What am I currently manifesting for myself and for my life? And where do I need to put total focus? So think of those dreams this week. If you have multiple dreams, what are the ones that I find most exciting to me? What are those things that I need to be really putting perspective into and energy and work into? And that's going to really help us propel that momentum forward for this next chapter to begin. So I love how they're encouraging us too, because it's like you're almost there. You're almost there. Maybe once again, you feel like you've been held back. Maybe you've been feeling like you've been stalled or things have been not progressing the way you want them to be, but it's really the opposite. And this is where the importance of our belief systems are going to play a very vital role as well this week. So I love how they put this: believe it, see it, feel it. So we have to embody that new beginning. We have to embody hope and embody this new belief system for ourselves that backs us up. Because once more, what would you rather? Back thoughts and belief systems that make you feel low, that make you feel unable to do what you want to do? Or do you want to put that energy into what's actually going to propel you forward? And I love this how they said this here too. It's like, what have you got to lose by believing? What have you got to lose by really going for it? And you're seeing that you'd rather go out trying than not trying at all. So once again, the choice is ours, and they keep kind of showing us like these two decisions where it's like, are you going to take the path that once more makes you feel inadequate, that makes you feel like you can't really do what you want to do? Or are you going to take the path that allows you to go for things? And even if it feels out of reach, even if it feels not logical, even if it feels like it's never going to happen, what would you rather at the end of your life? You don't want to have regret. So go for those dreams, go for those opportunities and explore those options, because I keep hearing there's so many more options there that we are not seeing. So don't get hung up in negativity this week. This is really important. They're just kind of bringing in how once more the cycles are going to be like right there, right in front of us, and it's going to almost put some blinders on us and go, oh my god, this is unreachable now, this is unattainable, this isn't going to happen. So once more, be mindful. Okay, is this my opportunity to choose different? Is this my test to choose myself and to persevere and be resilient? Okay, we're gonna have those illusions really come up, and especially around money. This is really coming in this week. So don't let money fear hold you back. It's all an illusion. And so that's where the big picture thinking is going to be very critical this week. What is the big picture of your life? Is this something that you can overcome? Is this something that's going to ruin your life? The facts are facts and they are no. You're going to get past this. Nothing ever persists to that point where you're unable to move forward. There's always something changing, there's always a shift in circumstances. You are always evolving and shifting and changing. So trust that this too shall pass. And this isn't a roadblock unless you let it be. So do not give up on yourself. And don't let things like money get in the way because I keep hearing too, like, there's going to be fears of, like, can I really afford this? Or can I really afford to take this leap of faith, this chance that requires me to maybe put some financial risk there? But it's like, you got to do it and trust that those things are always going to be there and they're always going to be kind of like in flux. They're always going to shift, they're always going to change. But what doesn't change is you, in that sense of if you choose to persevere, you will make it through. That does not change. That is truth. You can always shift situations. So I just keep hearing believe. Okay. Believe in yourself, believe in what's possible for you. And I just keep hearing like we're so limited in our sight, in what we can see. But the universe is like trying to open us up to that. Like there are numerous possibilities here. And guess what? Money is not the end all be all. That is one form of abundance. What would you rather have at this point? So I just keep hearing we have to be very clear on those goals and ask for help as well. So I just keep hearing the universe wants to help you. It knows what you're needing to do. It knows what your soul is here to do. And part of that is to evolve, and part of that is for you to make your own decisions. But they really want to support you in your soul path and in your soul journey. So ask for help if you're like, I need the finances to make this work. Call it in. Ask the universe to get on it for you. How can we bring in these multiple streams of income? How can we bring in perhaps the connections that we need to make this work? How can I bring in this energy of peace and serenity so I'm not constantly worried about my foundation? So I just keep hearing call in the support you require and to educate yourself as well. So that's also coming through like, how can you become more aware of things that need to shift and change for you to grow from here? Okay, so believe and you will go far. It's time to set those goals in action. You can live a fulfilling life. So from there, we have find joy every day, even in monotony. How can you make this an enjoyable experience? And then they are really bringing in the spirit guide and Archangel Jophiel. So I've talked a lot about her in previous podcasts because she's been really, really present and really, really helping the collective to find joy and happiness right where they are. And she's wonderful when you're going through adversity because sometimes we can't see that way out and we can really worry, we can fear, we can be in that repetitive negativity. But I just keep hearing she's here to support us. She's here to back us up this week. So make sure you're calling her in and enlisting her help. You have to give them permission. Okay. So if you are forgetting, every day, make it a goal. I'm calling in help because I deserve to be supported. So call in Joe Field this week to help you see the light at the end of the tunnel, to experience joy even through adversity or these cycles or changes that are happening, and to really help you learn what you need to learn to live a fulfilling existence. So let's move on to this next part, which says you're not doing as much healing as you think. And this is interesting. Not much more is required. Remembering life isn't meant to be dreaded, it is meant to be looked forward to, savored, and experienced. How would you feel if this was your last breath in this moment? Whew, powerful. Did you do everything you wanted to? Make a list, a bucket list, and make a plan to check those things off. What's one thing you can do each day to make it possible? Visualize yourself being successful. Pay attention to the signs, the alignment, wrapping up the cycles, bringing ending and closures, making room for more good. I love this. So, I love how they kind of brought out this awareness of you're not doing as much healing as you think. So, some of us might be like, oh my God, this is like so frustrating. This step back, this cycle that's really repetitive, this really is bothering me and triggering me and getting under my skin. And we might think that we're needing to be in the space of suffering or healing. And a lot of times we associate the two together. Isn't that interesting? When we're healing, we can associate that with suffering, going through it, crying, tears, frustrations, emotion. And that could be, however, it's more like this awareness that needs to drop in. So they're kind of showing me like an event happening or something coming in, and it's kind of like giving us that wake up call where it's like, oh, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to live my life with this anymore. And it's more like that's what we're getting this week. So it's not necessarily this big, arduous thing that we've got to go through and suffer through. They're like, no, like just take the information as what it is. Oh, a wake up call. This is not serving me. It's time to go. And for some of us, it might feel hard. But what I just keep hearing is it's only as hard as you make it. What is the mindset? What is your intention as you're going through things? It's so easy to go into the victim mentality when things happen, and we can take it as a personal offense. This is happening to me. This is upsetting. This is frustrating. But how can you take the empowered way? How can you choose yourself this week and go, you know what? Okay, stuff happens sometimes. And yes, it sucks, but it is showing me what's necessary to shift and change so I can live my best life. And to remember that life is meant to be enjoyed no matter what is happening. So, this was such a pivotal reminder this week. How can you still have joy despite what is going on around you? How can you still be in your bliss, your bubble of bliss? How can you ensure that you're still in an empowered space as opposed to being in a victim mentality? So, once more, the choice is ours. Each of us is going to have this moment where it's like, okay, I can either go the old path or I can choose the path that's actually worthy of me, that makes me feel good, that makes me feel empowered as opposed to disempowered. So, once again, life is meant to be looked forward to, not dreaded. Savor the experience. And I love how they put this so in perspective for us because if this was the last day of your life, if this right now is your last breath you got to take, you know, what would your thoughts be? Would you be thinking, "Oh, I really did good. I did everything I wanted to. I made sure I had my peace. I made sure I lived my life to the fullest." And if that's not the case, let's take those steps to change, right? Let's make those things happen. And I really love how they brought in this bucket list and how it's so important that we do take time to really analyze the beauty of life, how precious it is, how wonderful it is to be here in this moment, in this space, in this time, no matter what is happening, and that there are things that you can look forward to, things that you're going to work towards so you have that fulfilling existence. So do that this week. Make a bucket list for yourself. Really start prioritizing those things because what is life when it comes down to it? It is our experience. It's how we are moving through it. It's how we feel. So if we're just doing this monotonous daily grind and there's nothing to look forward to, there's nothing to enjoy, everything's wrong, nothing is going right, then like what's the point? really. Like, you got to enjoy yourself. You got to find things that bring you light, that bring you satisfaction, no matter what is happening. So, make that bucket list this week. And I love how they bring out visualizing. So visualize yourself being successful. Pay attention to the signs. And so that was the other thing that was really coming through here was um our spirit guides and our spirit team sending us confirmations. So if you're like, okay, I'm having a hard time, you're going to get these confirmations that it's like, keep going. Keep going. It's good. You're in alignment even if it doesn't feel like it. You're moving through things that are helping you change and helping you grow. This is meant for you. And also look for signs that propel you forward in the right direction. So if you're like, okay, today I'm going to really put forward an effort in this area, and all of a sudden you see these numbers that are like in alignment, like 111 or 444. It's like you are supported. This is the right way. Keep going. This is an alignment for you, right? So really be mindful of how these signs are showing up for you, whether they're from nature, whether they're from numbers, whether they're from intuitive feeling. Trust it. Okay. These are all signs for you. And this is once more helping us wrap up these cycles because we're seeing beyond them. That's what's so beautiful too. They're just showing me this like foresight where it's like you're not getting blinded anymore. You're going to have this wake up call that allows you to go beyond the challenge and see the light at the end of the tunnel. So making room for more good. So yes, clearing, 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 releasing things that are not needed. So from there, we have healing and relationships. So we have this very strong energy of marrying this week. So watch your partners, watch the people you're around. What are they teaching you? What are they showing you about yourself? Because every relationship has a role to play. Every person that is in your life is there for a reason, and it's showing you something about you. Whether it is something positive or negative, take it with a grain of salt, but go, okay, what is this actually showing about my personality, about where I'm at this time, or some shadow work that I need to do, or positive things as well. Look how my partner's so positive and how they're shifting through this. There's many different ways we can take it, but mirroring is going to be key this week as well. So, healing in relationships, learning how to support each other fully. Okay, so this was the other side of the coin with our relationships this week. There's going to be an emphasis on love languages, learning to love the right way, having a healthy love. Okay, now what was so cute is all I could hear was the song, Bring Me a Higher Love. And it was really driving in this point of divine union, sacred union. There's going to be a lot of theme on romance this week as well, and deepening connections with the people we have in our lives because I think there's something with that in astrology right now as well with Venus. So check into that if you're into astrology. Don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure there's some shifts happening there as well. But it's really bringing to light how we can show up for each other, how we can really love each other in a balanced, healthy way. And I feel like this is going to come in this week. So, say there's some cycles in your relationships that are coming to closure, it's all to help show you perhaps some karmic connections, some boundaries that might need to be put in place, or how we can show up for our partner. And this is going to really allow us to understand what healthy love is, what healthy love looks like on a daily basis. So, this might be something we're going to be learning. Maybe we don't know how to adequately show up for our partner when they're in distress or when they're going through something tough. What is it that person individually needs, and how do they specifically receive love from you? Because it could be quite different from the way you receive love from them. So that's where we need to learn and explore the love languages. Do they receive through touch, a hug, a kiss, a holding of the hand, a cuddle, whatever that could be? Or is it through talking? Is it through expression? Is it through compliments? Is it through gifts? Is it through quality time? Really look at that this week and also be mindful of how you receive it too. If you haven't really gone into the love languages and how you personally receive, this is very beneficial this week and very supported. How can you receive what you need? And this is going to elevate joy in our experience as well. So, this is all very connected to what we're shifting and learning right now. So, to prioritize our joy, we need to have a full cup. To be able to have a fulfilling life, we need to feel loved. And love is a need, it's a non negotiable. So, how does your heart need to feel loved? What are the things that make you feel that sensation? And they're also showing me the difference between coasting through life and thinking and logically comprehending love as opposed to actually feeling it and experiencing it. They're very different. And anyone that you see that is in pure, open hearted love, you can tell the difference. So if you're like, oh, yeah, I think this is how I receive love, but then you have an experience that opens your heart and you actually feel the love coming in, you feel the support coming in, it is so dramatically shifts things. So, we're learning healthy love. We're learning how to show up. We're learning how to meet our needs and our partner's needs this week. So, what came through is divine union, two souls coming together in full faith. I've got your back. Okay. This is so beautiful. And woo, I don't know why that just brought a lot of emotion. But when we are able to show up, and when others show up and are like, I'm here, and they show it through their actions, not just their words, they're there when you need them, it deepens your bond because it's really showing you you're safe with your partner, you're safe with your family, you're safe with that individual. And it's bringing this whole other level to relationships. Okay. So be mindful of how are you showing up for your partner? How are they showing up? And how can you really take a moment to feel that support in your life? So, making your dream life possible through each other, revealing each other's weaknesses to make each other strong. Be patient, be wise. Speak with wisdom and love. Speak with the heart. Believe in the miracles that are happening in your life. Live life to the full now, not later. Don't let worries get you down. All will pass on. There is nothing to worry about. Everything is happening in your favor. It's time to set things right. Refocus your priorities, for all is well. Okay. I love this so much. So, once again, we're getting this highlight around mirroring. Okay. So, you're making your dream life possible through each other. So, yes, there's going to be a bit of a focus on love based relationships here. So, romantic relationships, your partners, but please take this with a grain of salt because this is going to come through in your family. This can come through as your friendships. However, this is coming through, there's this element of teamwork, but there very much is a special emphasis on this supportive love. So, through each other, you make things possible. And they're kind of showing me like the yin and the yang and the perfect match, where it's like, where this person's lacking, the other person's got it, and vice versa. And when you come together, you bring this perfect harmony and balance to each other's lives. So, where is that balance coming in? And where is that harmony needing to come together? Because they're kind of showing me a light bulb moment where it's like, oh, this partner actually can meet my needs in this area. And I can meet their needs in this area. And it's like your different strengths almost bring out the weaknesses in the other in a good way, in a positive way, because you can see that you can balance each other in that. It's like, okay, well, if you handle where I'm lacking, then I'll handle where you are lacking. And we can bring each other this fulfillment in our relationship, but also in life. So they're giving me the example of, a lot of us see this in relationships. One person maybe is really good with finance and the other isn't. And it's like you guys help each other learn how to complement. Maybe the one person who's not as good as finances helps the other partner be like a little looser, a little bit more relaxed. And like, okay, remember, we got to spend some money sometimes and we got to have fun sometimes. And then the other one who's really good at finances might be like, okay, but we also have to have balance and we also have to have a budget sometimes. And let's prioritize our money this way or do this way. And it just like brings this beautiful harmonization that you really realize, oh, this is so complementary. So they're really bringing this up this week to really be aware of that. Where are you balancing each other out and revealing weaknesses and revealing strengths? Okay. So the other thing that came through is be patient, be wise. So we also have this element of using our voice this week. So maybe we're going to notice some things go awry. Maybe we're going to see some of our weaknesses in perhaps ourselves or our partners or our friends, wherever this comes up. It is going to be a cycle breaking time. So there are going to be some things that might be not as pleasant that we want to see. But what I'm hearing is we need to be very mindful of how we talk about it. So if we're noticing our partner's making a mistake again, or noticing that they're repeating a cycle, we need to help them with that. How we speak about it is going to be really, really important. So really come to that awareness of how can I speak with wisdom? How can I speak with love? And how can I ensure my words are coming from my heart as opposed to the opposite, the ego mind, the judgmental space where it's might come across not in the right way? Because the biggest thing is we chose our partner. We chose this individual to be in our lives and we love them. So if we love them, this is coming from a love-based space. We want to help, not hinder. So the other thing that's coming to mind here is maybe your partner doesn't receive advice well from a lecture or from nitpicking or from those kind of go-to avenues. And maybe we've got to go, okay, let's sit down together and brainstorm some ideas of how we can shift the situation. Or hey, you know what, I noticed you're upset about this, so maybe this is not the right time for me to lecture you, and instead let's just sit here and relax and let me comfort you. Maybe you need a hug, maybe you need some space, maybe you just need some quality time with some loving energy, right? So we got to read the situation, and they're just saying take a moment to do that. Breathe, take a moment to check in with yourself, and then how can I approach my partner? And once more, yourself, if this is yourself going through it, how can I comfort myself? How can I show up for myself in a loving way? So believe in miracles and see that they're happening in your life. So, once more, this is all things that we're meant to overcome. These are things that help us grow, that help us learn. And maybe situations are just going to be crappy and we have to just let it be crappy, but we're going to move on. We're not going to let that hinder us. We're not going to let that hold us back. We're going to choose love. We're going to choose ourselves and realize that every situation is only temporary. So believe in the miracles and see them happening because once more, this is closure. This is so it doesn't repeat. So that in itself is a miracle, right? We're letting this go so we can live a wonderful, fulfilling life. So definitely take a note of what goodness is happening. So the other thing that I love here is it's happening soon, right? Because once more, a lot of us are like, oh my God, I don't know how much longer I can handle this. Some of us might feel at our breaking point, but once again, this is coming forward for us to bring to closure. So, how can I still live a fulfilling life now through challenge and not let the worries overtake me and overwhelm me? Okay. So, this is really important. We might have some concerns, right? So, once more, we had the money issues coming in this week. So, we're going to have a focus on finance. Maybe we're going to be thinking about that. Maybe that's going to be on our mind. Maybe we'll be like, how do we do it? Release the how, just trust. Know that these desires have been placed in your heart for a reason. Trust that. Trust it's going to happen. If you go to your soul knows this is going to happen for you. Trust. It might feel like you're at your wits' end, but you're not. You got this. You will not be given anything that you cannot handle. You are so strong. You are so resilient. This test is to truly help you close this for good because you deserve better. And you're seeing that now. You're going to prioritize better now. You're going to see what shifts need to happen so you can be safe, so you can be secure and grow in your dreams. Okay. So don't let worries overwhelm you. There is nothing to worry about. I love that. And once more, it just shows this very empowering stance that we're taking, right? Everything is happening in my favor. Can you wake up each day this week and remind yourself of that? Everything is happening in my favor. Everything is happening for my highest good. Everything is happening so I can move forward, right? We're not letting this hold us back anymore. So, time to set things right, refocus the priority. All is well. So, from there, we have slow and steady wins the race. Did you think that maybe your pace is just right? Learn from your mistakes now, not later. They've been great catalysts for growth. God never held you back once. He is catapulting you forward. Everything is about to happen now in perfect time. Have you noticed the glimpses, the previews of your new life? Get excited. It's all coming together. Have fun, play. Being alive is a gift. Enjoy it. I love this. So, we might have this really strong drive this week that we want to get things done. We want to shift through this stuff. We want to get it done and get rid of it and move into the new cycle. And kudos to you if that's how you're feeling. However, slow and steady wins the race. So they're almost showing me a bit of a warning of burnout. Okay. So be very mindful this week of not wearing yourself out, right? Because once more, we're going through a lot. We're shifting a lot. We're closing out these things. That's going to be a lot of clearing. That's going to be a lot of mental fortitude and energy work sometimes for us to really make sure we're in the same or the right mindset and taking charge. And the other side of the coin of this is really avidly pursuing your dreams this week and trying to make things happen. But we also need to have a bit of trust. We need to trust that everything is happening in perfect time. Everything is unfolding just as it should, and that we're not being held back. Okay. So you can take your time. And I keep hearing that because it's like we're going to feel this forward momentum energy because they're just showing me this stream of energy of our new life. And we're like, oh, well, there it is. Let's go, right? We want to get in there, but there's stuff we got to close out. Okay. And there's some time that we'll need to take to really make sure the proper footing is there, this proper support and foundation is there before we take off into our new life, our new cycle. So take your time, breathe, recognize that everything happens just as it should, when it should. You are not being held back. You have not regressed. You are ready to move forward. And this is happening very soon. Okay. Now, the other aspect of this is learn from your mistakes now, not later. So they're kind of showing me this regret and burnout and the go, go, go and all work, no play, and how we can get that attitude when it comes to our dreams as well. And they're just saying, be mindful of that. Be very aware, right? Where am I overdoing it? Where am I making my passion into a job? And how can I find the balance, right? And how can I learn from the past where I might have burned myself out in pursuit of things, where I forgot to slow down and take care of myself, to take care of my needs? This theme of health as well is coming in. So we need to make sure we are listening to our body and its capabilities. They're showing me someone's very strong in their mind and their mental acuity, but they're negating their physical needs and they're forgetting, oh, I also need to feed my vessel. I also need to rest my vessel. And I also need to nurture my vessel and give it nutritious food. Like they're just giving me these examples of where we might be cutting ourselves short and we're thinking we're doing so well, but then our body gives us the stark reminder, I matter too. I matter too. My needs matter. You can't just blow through and expect you're going to make it there. Because even if you do, you're going to be exhausted. Your needs aren't met, right? So, is that the way we want to move forward? No, we want to move forward in a peaceful, loving way, in a way that we're feeling topped up every single step of the journey. So yeah, once more, they're showing me this example of a hiker on a mountain, and they're trying to hike the mountain, and they're showing me two different individuals. So one individual who stops and takes breaks and enjoys the journey, enjoys the scenery, enjoys the nature, enjoys and savors every moment, is making sure they're drinking enough water as they're doing this climb. They're eating a nutritious bar. They're meeting their needs every single step, and it's a beautiful experience. And then they're showing me the opposite, where someone's just so focused on getting to the top that they're not taking in the scenery. They're not enjoying the experience. They're just so stuck in the go, 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 go that they're even forgetting their body's needs. They're not getting enough water. They're not getting enough nourishment, when they're really going to realize that they might not even make it if they don't listen, if they don't pause, if they don't take a minute. So, where do you need to take a minute? Where do you need to take a minute this week? Where do you need to assess once again your basic needs? Are they being met? And if not, we need to take a breather and reassess our priorities, because once more, our most basic needs are priorities, or they should be. And if they're not, we need to do some reevaluating. But I love this next part, how they go, have you noticed the glimpses? So a lot of us are getting these kind of like aha moments lately. And they're just especially showing me over the summer. It's like maybe we took a break, maybe we took a vacation, and we had this moment where it's like, wow, this actually could be my life if I let it. Like if I just like slow down a bit, if I just like allow myself to relax, read a book, enjoy the scenery, take in new experiences, it's almost like we get this preview of what our life could be if we created it. And the facts are, we don't want to have to wait until vacation to enjoy our experience, until we meet our needs and we take a moment to experience life the way we want to. And they're kind of showing me like your whole life could be like a vacation. It could be a luxurious, beautiful experience no matter what, if you created it that way. And I think this is so empowering because they're giving us the tools and showing us how. If we do this, if we do this work, if we let ourselves have this open mindedness, if we allow ourselves to see beyond the illusions that are trying to blind us from the truth, that we can't have a fulfilling life now, that we have to wait until we reach the top of that mountain, that we can't meet our needs along the way or enjoy and savor life until we're at this point of success. It's all bullshit. It's a lie. So this week we're getting really a big lesson to learn, and that is learning our joy, meeting our needs, savoring our relationships, and deepening our love connections. That's what life is about. Now, the last thing I want to bring in here too is the excitement of what's to come. Because with these previews, with these glimpses of what life could be for you, that's exciting. Because once more, it's like, oh, it's possible. If I just did this, that's an actual possibility for me. They're actually bringing this awareness of moving abroad. Some people might be considering that. So, this might be a very specific message for some of you, but it's like, have you actually entertained that thought? Have you been like, oh, that'd be so nice? Why not? Why not try it? Why not go and have a completely new experience for yourself? They're kind of bringing that in, like moving abroad, shifting locations. Maybe it's shifting a job, whatever that is. It's like, Really, what's the worst that can happen? You can always go back. You can always change your mind. You can always do something different. What is stopping you from the adventure of life? Don't let fear hold you back anymore. Don't let the illusions hold you back anymore. If you're being called to make a change, then make it. Don't let anything hold you back. Did you ever think that sometimes these things are a test for you to see what you're going to choose? Are you going to maintain your integrity? Are you going to remove what's long expired? Or are you going to continue to deal with it? You're worth so much more than that. You are worth so much more than that. You, my friend, deserve to live your best life right now. So, some tips that are coming through this week to help us do that, to remove negativity, to increase our manifestations, to raise our vibration. Number one, meditation. Okay. We need to be meditating this week. We need to make time for it. We need to have time to talk to our souls and get the clarity we need to take these vital steps that are required for us to close out the past and create this new future. So, please prioritize that this week. Number two, make time for your connections. Really ensure you are spending quality time with the people you love, learning your person you've chosen in this life, learning the friendships that you have and how you need to show up for them uniquely and how they need to show up for you, and really being honest about that in the most loving way you can. Thirdly, going into exercise this week is going to really help increase your manifestation abilities and release any negative thoughts and stress. So they're really kind of showing me with this amazing opening, heart opening, this love connection that we're cultivating within our friendships and being topped up in that. Exercise also gives us this high and it gives us this amazing lift in our vibration because none of us walk away from exercise feeling like crap unless we've overdone it. Right? When you're doing exercise in a fulfilling way, in a loving way that tops up your cup, you leave on a high and it helps you be in your body, right? Because when we're overwhelmed with worry, they're just saying, go and move your body. It helps get out the nervous energy. It helps you get out any anger, frustration that's building in you. And a lot of us need a physical release this week. So make sure you are partaking in exercise and movement and really analyzing, sorry, your body and its well-being as well, because once more we can get really consumed with what's going on in our heads as opposed to what's going on in the heart and in the physical vessel. So allow yourself to do that. Lastly, I'm just hearing take heart-centered action. Okay, remember your heart in your decisions. Remember that it is the birthplace of your intuition. The heart is where all the answers will be provided. The answer that rises in the surface of the heart is the one you want to take. The answers that arrive in the head are coming from a mental space. So, ego mind, a lot of the time. So, how can you become so heart centered, so integrous to yourself that every single answer, every single question that you have, you can trust that answer to be there. Trust that your higher self, your soul, has your best interest at heart. We just need to take that leap of faith. Okay. So you will succeed. You will succeed. So take the path that's most fulfilling, my friends. Take the path that tops you up. Take the path that makes you excited, maybe a little nervous, but excited. And know that when you take those actions, the world is starting to develop that road forward beneath your feet. They're just showing me that, like the yellow brick road, and it's like building as you walk, building as you walk. And it's like, okay, now we're putting the next brick and the next brick and the next brick, and we're helping her find her destination. We're helping her learn the way forward, right? So keep that in mind this week. Everything's going as planned, everything is going just as it should. Trust yourself and trust your higher knowledge. All right, my friends, it's all I have for us this week. I really hope you enjoyed the energy update. Let me know your thoughts below and sending you lots of love and light. Bye.